525252525252525252525252525. What if the next major economic revolution in America isn't oil, the internet, or Wall Street, but artificial intelligence? Right now, AI is rapidly changing how businesses operate, how workers earn money, and how entire industries survive. Some experts believe AI could create massive wealth and productivity across the U.S. economy. Others fear millions of jobs could disappear faster than people expect. And the truth is, this transformation has already started. In today's video, we're breaking down why AI could completely reshape the American economy, who benefits the most, and why millions of Americans are both excited and terrified. Welcome back to the Dollar Pilot. Today, we're talking about one of the most important economic shifts happening in America right now: artificial intelligence. AI is no longer just a futuristic idea from science fiction movies. It's already becoming part of everyday American life. From customer service chatbots to self-driving technology, automated warehouses, AI-generated content, advanced data analysis, and business automation tools, artificial intelligence is spreading across nearly every major industry in the United States. And many experts believe this could become one of the biggest economic transformations in modern American history. But here's the important question: will AI make life better for Americans, or create even more financial pressure? The answer is complicated. One reason AI is growing so fast is because companies are obsessed with efficiency. Businesses constantly look for ways to reduce costs, improve productivity, and increase profits. AI gives companies the ability to automate tasks that once required large numbers of employees. That's why corporations are investing billions of dollars into AI development right now. For businesses, AI can work 24 hours a day, analyze huge amounts of information instantly, and complete repetitive tasks faster than many human workers. This could dramatically reshape the U.S. labor market. Some jobs may become more valuable because of AI, but others may become less necessary. Industries like customer support, data entry, marketing, administrative work, basic coding, content production, accounting assistance, and even some legal research are already experiencing major changes because of automation. That doesn't necessarily mean all these jobs disappear overnight, but it does mean companies may eventually need fewer workers to complete the same amount of work. And that possibility is creating serious anxiety across America. Millions of workers are now asking themselves, will my job still exist in 5 or 10 years? Another reason AI could reshape the economy is productivity. Historically, major technological revolutions transformed economic growth. The internet changed communication. Factories changed manufacturing. Computers changed business operations. Now AI may become the next major productivity revolution. If companies can produce more goods and services with fewer costs, the U.S. economy could become significantly more efficient. Some economists believe AI could increase economic growth, corporate profits, and innovation at massive levels over the next decade. But there's also a downside many Americans worry about. When productivity increases too quickly, workers sometimes struggle to adapt. Highly skilled workers who understand AI may become far more valuable and earn significantly more income. Meanwhile, workers with repetitive or easily automated jobs may face increasing competition and job insecurity. This could widen economic inequality even further, and honestly, many Americans already feel financially squeezed. Housing costs remain high. Healthcare is expensive, debt levels are rising, and wages often struggle to keep pace with inflation. So when people hear about AI replacing jobs, many don't see opportunity first. They see financial fear. Another major concern is how fast AI technology is evolving. In previous technological revolutions, changes happened more slowly over decades, but AI tools are improving incredibly fast. Every few months, new systems appear that can perform tasks once considered impossible for machines. That speed makes workers nervous because people feel they may not have enough time to adapt. At the same time, AI is also creating entirely new industries. Cybersecurity, AI engineering, machine learning, robotics, data infrastructure, cloud computing, semiconductor manufacturing, and AI consulting are all expanding rapidly. Companies need workers who understand how to build, manage, and work alongside AI systems. This means America may see a massive shift in workforce demand rather than simple job destruction alone. And here's something very important many people overlook. AI itself is not automatically good or bad. The real issue is how businesses, governments, and society choose to use it. Some companies may use AI to improve worker productivity while still keeping employees valuable. Others may aggressively cut labor costs to maximize profits. That difference could shape the future of the American middle class. Another important factor is education. The American education system is still trying to adapt to the AI era. Many schools continue teaching outdated skills while the modern economy changes rapidly. Financial literacy, technology skills, problem solving, communication, adaptability, and critical thinking are becoming far more important in the AI economy. Workers who continuously learn new skills may have a major advantage moving forward. Small businesses are also being affected. AI tools now allow smaller companies to compete with larger corporations more efficiently. A small business owner can use AI for marketing, customer service, scheduling, accounting, and content creation without hiring huge teams. That could create new entrepreneurial opportunities across America, but there are risks too. AI misinformation, fake content, scams, deepfakes, privacy concerns, and cybersecurity threats are growing rapidly. Regulators and lawmakers are struggling to keep pace with how fast the technology is evolving. And politically, AI may become one of the biggest economic debates in the United States over the next decade. Questions about worker protections, automation taxes, universal basic income, data privacy, and corporate regulation may become increasingly important as AI reshapes industries. But despite all the fear surrounding AI, history shows something important. Technology often eliminates certain jobs while creating entirely new opportunities people never expected. The challenge is that transitions can be painful. Some workers adapt quickly. Others struggle financially during periods of economic change. And right now, America appears to be entering one of those major transition periods. At the Dollar Pilot, we believe understanding these economic changes is critical because the future workforce may look very different from the one Americans grew up expecting. The truth is, AI could reshape the U.S. economy in ways most people still don't fully understand. Some Americans may build enormous wealth from this technology revolution. Others may face increasing uncertainty if they fail to adapt to the changing economy. That's why staying informed, learning new skills, and understanding financial trends may become more important than ever before. Because in the age of artificial intelligence, adaptability may become the most valuable skill in America. 5-3-5-3-5-3-5-3-5-3-5-3-5-5-5-3-3-53. Why do so many hardworking Americans still feel broke, even when they're earning more money than before? The truth is, it's not always about income. Sometimes the biggest financial problem is hidden inside everyday habits people don't even realize are destroying their future. From credit card addiction to lifestyle inflation, millions of Americans are trapped in a cycle that keeps them stressed, in debt, and living paycheck to paycheck. And the scariest part? Most people don't notice the damage until it's too late. In today's video, we're exposing the financial habits quietly keeping Americans broke, and why breaking these habits may be one of the most important financial decisions you ever make. Welcome back to the Dollar Pilot. Today we're talking about something affecting millions of Americans right now: bad financial habits. And no, this isn't just about people making reckless decisions or buying luxury cars they can't afford. In many cases, the habits hurting Americans financially are small, everyday behaviors that slowly create long-term financial stress. The reality is, many hardworking Americans are earning decent incomes but still struggling financially. Why? Because modern American life is built around spending. Everywhere people look, they're encouraged to buy more, finance more, upgrade more, and live beyond their means. Social media constantly promotes expensive lifestyles. Advertising encourages impulse spending. Apps make shopping dangerously easy, and credit cards allow people to spend money they don't actually have. Over time, these habits can quietly destroy financial stability. One of the biggest financial habits keeping Americans broke is lifestyle inflation. This happens when people increase spending every time their income rises. Someone gets a raise, then upgrades their apartment, buys a more expensive car, spends more on restaurants, takes luxury vacations, or finances expensive electronics. Instead of building savings or investments, the extra income disappears into a more expensive lifestyle. And this creates a dangerous cycle where people continue earning more money without actually becoming financially secure. Another major issue is credit card dependency. Millions of Americans now rely on credit cards not only for emergencies, but also for normal everyday spending. Groceries, gas, food delivery, entertainment, online shopping. At first, carrying a balance may seem manageable, but high interest rates quickly turn small debt into a much larger financial burden. Many Americans now pay over 20% interest on revolving balances, which makes escaping debt incredibly difficult. And once minimum payments become normal, financial progress slows dramatically. Another financial habit hurting Americans is impulse spending. Modern technology has made spending easier than ever before. With one click, people can order almost anything instantly. Companies spend billions of dollars designing apps and algorithms specifically to encourage more spending. Free shipping, flash sales, limited time offers, buy now, pay later apps. These systems are carefully designed to trigger emotional purchases, and many Americans underestimate how small purchases slowly drain large amounts of money over time. Another hidden financial problem is living without a budget. A surprising number of Americans don't fully track where their money goes every month. Without a budget, it becomes easy to overspend without realizing it. Small recurring subscriptions, dining out, online shopping, convenient spending, and monthly financing payments can quietly consume huge portions of income. Many people are shocked when they finally calculate how much money disappears every month on non-essential expenses. Emergency savings are another major issue. Millions of Americans have very little money saved for emergencies. That means unexpected expenses like medical bills, car repairs, layoffs, or rent increases often force households into debt immediately. And in today's economy, emergencies happen constantly. Without savings, even financially responsible people can quickly become trapped in debt cycles. Another habit affecting Americans is financing everything. Many people now finance phones, furniture, appliances, vacations, cars, and even everyday purchases. Monthly payments may seem affordable individually, but when multiple payments stack together, financial pressure increases quickly. This creates the illusion of affordability while quietly reducing long-term financial flexibility. And perhaps one of the most damaging habits is comparing lifestyles online. Social media has created enormous pressure to appear successful. People constantly see influencers, celebrities, luxury lifestyles, expensive trips, designer brands, and unrealistic standards of wealth. As a result, many Americans spend money trying to look rich rather than actually becoming financially stable. But real wealth usually looks much quieter. Financially successful people often focus on long-term investing, saving, controlling debt, and building assets, not showing off online. Another issue is the lack of financial education in America. Most schools never properly teach budgeting, taxes, investing, credit scores, compound interest, or debt management. So millions of young Americans enter adulthood with access to massive amounts of credit, but very little understanding of how money actually works. That creates long-term financial mistakes that can take years to recover from. And inflation has made all these problems worse. Housing costs have surged. Groceries cost more. Healthcare remains expensive, insurance premiums keep rising, and interest rates are much higher than they were a few years ago. So even small bad habits now create bigger financial consequences. But here's something important. This conversation is not about blaming struggling Americans. The modern economy has become extremely expensive and financially stressful. Many households are doing their best just to survive. However, understanding financial habits still matters because small changes repeated consistently over time can completely change someone's financial future. Building an emergency fund, reducing unnecessary debt, tracking spending, living below your means, investing consistently, avoiding impulse spending. These habits may not look exciting online, but they create long-term stability. And in today's economy, financial stability is becoming one of the most valuable things an American can have. At the Dollar Pilot, we believe financial freedom isn't about becoming instantly rich. It's about gaining control over your money instead of constantly feeling controlled by bills, debt, and financial anxiety. Because the truth is, many Americans don't need a completely different life to improve financially. Sometimes they simply need better financial habits repeated consistently over time. And in an economy designed to encourage constant spending, discipline may become one of the biggest financial advantages anyone can build. 5-4-5-4-5-4-5-4-5-4-4-5-5-5-5-4-5-4-5-5-5-4-5-4 Why are millions of Americans waiting longer than ever to get married or have children? A generation ago, people in their 20s could often afford a home, raise a family, and build a stable future on a normal income. But today, many young Americans feel like survival itself has become expensive. Rent is crushing paychecks. Childcare costs are exploding. Student debt is everywhere, and financial stress is changing how people think about relationships and family life. In today's video, we're uncovering the real reasons Americans are delaying marriage and kids and why this trend could completely reshape the future of the United States. Welcome back to The Dollar Pilot. Today we're talking about a major social and economic shift happening across America right now. Millions of Americans are delaying marriage and having fewer children. And for many people, this is not simply about changing lifestyles or modern culture. A huge part of the problem is financial pressure. For younger generations especially, building a stable life has become dramatically more expensive than it was for previous generations. Housing is one of the biggest reasons. In many American cities, rent prices and home prices have surged far faster than wages. For millions of young adults, simply paying monthly rent already consumes a massive percentage of their income. Buying a house now feels impossible for many people because high home prices, high mortgage rates, and large down payments create enormous financial barriers. And without stable housing, many Americans feel uncomfortable starting families. Another major factor is student loan debt. Millions of Americans entered adulthood already carrying tens of thousands of dollars in debt from college education. Instead of building savings in their 20s, many young workers spend years making loan payments while also dealing with rising living expenses. That financial pressure delays major life decisions. People postpone marriage, delay having children, or avoid starting families entirely because they don't feel financially prepared. Childcare costs are another huge issue. In many parts of America, daycare expenses now cost thousands of dollars every month. For some families, childcare can cost nearly as much as rent or mortgage payments. Healthcare costs also continue rising. Pregnancy, childbirth, insurance premiums, medical emergencies, and pediatric care create serious financial concerns for young couples. And many Americans fear they simply cannot afford unexpected expenses while raising children. At the same time, wages often have not kept pace with inflation. Groceries cost more, cars cost more, insurance costs more, utilities cost more. Almost every major living expense has increased over the past several years. As a result, many Americans feel financially unstable even while working full-time jobs. And when people feel unstable financially, they often delay long-term commitments. Another major shift is career pressure. Modern work culture in America has become highly competitive. Many young adults spend years focusing on education, career growth, side hustles, and financial survival before they even consider marriage or children. Some people fear that starting families too early could damage career opportunities or create financial stress they are not ready to handle. Social media has also changed expectations around relationships and lifestyle. People constantly compare themselves to unrealistic online standards. Luxury weddings, expensive vacations, perfect homes, designer lifestyles. This creates pressure to achieve financial perfection before getting married or starting families. But in reality, many Americans never feel financially ready anymore because the economic goals keep moving further away. Another important factor is uncertainty about the future. Many Americans feel anxious about the economy, job security, inflation, artificial intelligence, debt, healthcare, and retirement. Previous generations often believed life would become steadily more affordable over time, but younger generations increasingly worry the future may actually become more expensive and unstable. That uncertainty affects major life decisions, and statistics show this trend is already reshaping America. The average age of first marriage has increased significantly over the past few decades. Birth rates in the United States have also declined. More Americans now live alone, delay family life, or choose not to have children at all. This shift could have major long-term economic effects. Fewer children today may eventually mean a smaller workforce in the future. That could create labor shortages, economic pressure on retirement systems like Social Security, and slower population growth. Some economists even believe America's future economy may depend heavily on immigration because birth rates continue falling. But beyond economics, there's also a deeper emotional reality. Many young Americans feel exhausted. They are trying to survive in an economy where basic stability feels increasingly difficult to achieve. And unlike previous generations, many no longer believe hard work automatically guarantees financial security. That changes how people view marriage, home ownership, and parenthood. However, it's important to understand something. This trend does not mean Americans no longer value family. For many people, the desire for marriage and children still exists. The problem is that financial stress is making those goals feel less realistic. And this issue affects nearly every political group, income level, and region of the country. Middle-class Americans feel it. Working-class Americans feel it. Even many high-income earners feel financially pressured in expensive cities. At the Dollar Pilot, we believe this conversation is important because it reveals something bigger happening in America. The cost of modern life is changing how people build their futures. When housing, healthcare, education, childcare, and daily living become increasingly expensive, it doesn't just affect bank accounts. It affects relationships, family planning, mental health, and long-term stability. And unless affordability improves for younger generations, America may continue seeing delayed marriages, lower birth rates, and growing financial anxiety for years to come. Because in today's economy, many Americans aren't delaying family life because they don't want it. They're delaying it because they're trying to survive financially first. 5 5 5 5 5 Y 5 E by 5 5 E I E A E E E E E E 5. What if the American housing market is sitting on another dangerous bubble right now? And millions of people don't even realize it. Home prices across the United States exploded over the past few years. Mortgage rates surged to painful levels. And now many Americans are asking the same terrifying question. Could the housing market crash again like 2008? In today's video, we're uncovering the truth about America's housing bubble fears, why homes became so expensive, what experts are watching closely, and whether the U.S. housing market is actually heading towards serious trouble. Welcome back to the Dollar Pilot. Today we're talking about one of the biggest financial fears in America right now, the possibility of a housing bubble. For millions of Americans, buying a home now feels almost impossible. Home prices skyrocketed after the pandemic. Mortgage rates surged. Rent prices exploded. And affordability became one of the biggest economic problems in the country. As a result, many Americans are starting to wonder, is the housing market becoming dangerously overvalued? And more importantly, could another housing crash happen? To understand the fear, we first need to understand what happened to the housing market over the past several years. During the pandemic, interest rates dropped to extremely low levels. Mortgage rates reached historic lows, making borrowing much cheaper. At the same time, many Americans wanted larger homes because remote work became more common. Demand for housing exploded. But there was a major problem. America already had a housing shortage. For years, the country failed to build enough homes to keep up with population growth and demand. So when millions of buyers entered the market at once, prices surged rapidly. Investors also entered the market aggressively. Large corporations, private equity firms, and wealthy investors bought huge numbers of homes across America. Some purchased properties as rentals. Others viewed real estate as protection against inflation. This added even more competition for ordinary buyers. Then, inflation changed everything. The Federal Reserve aggressively raised interest rates to fight rising prices across the economy, and mortgage rates jumped dramatically. Suddenly, monthly housing payments became far more expensive. Even if home prices stopped rising, higher mortgage rates still made homes unaffordable for many Americans. This created a strange housing market. Home prices remained high, but fewer people could actually afford to buy. That's why many Americans now fear a bubble. Historically, bubbles happen when asset prices rise far beyond what average people can realistically afford. And today, affordability is one of the worst in modern American housing history. In many cities, middle-class families simply cannot afford homes anymore. Cities like Los Angeles, Miami, New York, Austin, Seattle, and Phoenix saw massive price increases in recent years. Even smaller cities became expensive as remote workers moved across the country. Many young Americans now feel permanently locked out of home ownership, and this fear naturally reminds people of the 2008 housing crash. But here's something important. Today's housing market is different in several major ways. Before the 2008 crash, banks approved huge numbers of risky mortgages. Many buyers received loans they realistically could not afford. There were weak lending standards, low documentation requirements, and dangerous subprime mortgage products. When homeowners began defaulting, the entire financial system collapsed. Today, lending standards are generally much stricter. Most homeowners currently have stronger credit profiles and fixed-rate mortgages. That means many economists do not expect a crash exactly like 2008. However, that does not mean the housing market is healthy. There are still serious risks. One major concern is affordability pressure. When monthly payments become too expensive, fewer buyers enter the market. And if demand weakens enough, prices in some areas could eventually decline. Another concern is rising consumer debt. Many Americans are already struggling with credit card debt, car loans, student loans, and higher living costs. If unemployment rises during an economic slowdown, housing pressure could increase quickly. Job losses often create financial stress that affects mortgage payments. Another issue is investor activity. In some markets, investors purchased homes expecting prices to keep rising forever. But if prices slow or rents decline, some investors may start selling properties aggressively. That could increase housing supply and push prices downward in certain cities. Commercial real estate also creates uncertainty. Office buildings in many American cities remain under pressure because remote work changed demand for office space. Some economists worry that broader real estate weakness could eventually impact banks and financial markets. At the same time, America still faces a genuine housing shortage. That's one reason prices have remained relatively strong despite high interest rates. There are simply not enough affordable homes available in many regions, and millions of homeowners locked in ultra-low mortgage rates during the pandemic. Many refuse to sell because buying another home at today's higher rates would dramatically increase their monthly payments. This keeps housing inventory limited. So the market remains stuck between high prices, high rates, and low affordability. And that's why Americans feel confused. Some people expect a crash. Others believe prices will remain high for years. The truth is, nobody can perfectly predict the housing market. But one thing is very clear. Housing affordability has become one of the biggest financial challenges facing Americans today. For younger generations especially, the traditional American dream of owning a home feels increasingly difficult. And this issue affects far more than just real estate. Housing costs influence family planning, savings, debt levels, retirement, mental health, and long-term financial stability. At the Dollar Pilot, we believe understanding these economic shifts is more important than ever. Because housing is not just about property. It's about financial security, opportunity, and the future of the American middle class. And until affordability improves, fears about America's housing market may continue growing across the country. Because for millions of Americans today, the biggest question is no longer, should I buy a home? It's, will I ever be able to afford one at all?